everybody. I'd like to introduce to you Jeremiah Earnest. I think you have a lot of great experiences to share with you today, so.
All right, so in the beginning of the school year, we were asked, what do you want? I thought, well, okay, I know I want a lot of things like more money, more friends, more clothes, more shoes. I want anything I could possibly have, because who doesn't want that? I think I was supposed to go a little bit deeper with that question, though. So I did. What do you want? Well, I want to be happy. That's the biggest thing. I want to be happy and not have to worry about anything ever again anything ever again. But I know that's not realistic. So I tried again. What do you want? Well, I like when other people are happy because that just makes me happy. So therefore, I want everybody else to be happy and not have to worry or stress about anything ever again. That's also not realistic. What do you want? Well, okay, then I want to help other people become happy. I want to take pain and suffering off of everybody's mind, or at least just help prevent it. So with that being my mindset, I chose to pursue physical therapy for my capstone. There's a little more behind why I chose this, though. So growing up, I was just a big kid. I wasn't really athletic. In fact, I wasn't athletic at all. I was overweight and just not happy, and I wanted to change that. On top of that, I wasn't really good at school. I wasn't really good at school. I thought school was hard and homework was kind of stupid, so I just never really tried. I did have a lot of friends, though. I liked talking to people and making them happy, making them laugh. Though I was shy, if I didn't know you very well or I didn't know you very well or saw you crying, then I wouldn't really talk or look at you. I was actually scared of talking to people, which was something that I struggled with for a while. Although whenever I saw somebody crying or alone or just needed somebody to talk to because they were having a bad day, I'd be that person to go cheer them up, because that's just who I am. I love making people happy. I still got picked last in the football games every recess, or got made fun of for not being able to climb a tree or jump a fence because of how heavy or unathletic I was. I still wasn't happy with who I was. So I started lifting weights and becoming more active, and I just fell in love with it. I loved how much I improved over time with my physical appearance and just my strength overall. I lost so much weight and was starting to become more comfortable and happy with who I was. I just loved the progress. The more that I lifted, the more I started to become really interested in muscles and how they work and how they become stronger and grow. Anyway, I started lifting weights as a way to make myself happy with who I was or was becoming, because there's just something about building yourself up and becoming stronger that just makes you feel like something new and even better. Whenever I was angry or lost or sad, I would just lift and it would take everything off of my mind. At the age of 14, I tried out for a Little League hockey team, which was awesome for me because it was the first ever sport that I played. A couple weeks later, during a game, I got checked into a wall and twisted my ankle and ended up fracturing my growth plate in my lower leg. I got taken to a hospital in an ambulance, which was my first ever ride in an ambulance. Other than the fact that my leg was almost broken, I actually really liked the experience of being in an ambulance. I liked the paramedics and how cool they seemed, because they were just basically saving people's lives and taking their pain away for a living. That's how I became interested in the medical field. Just the thought of helping people in pain and making them happy because of that just triggered something inside of me. So I ended up needing to go to see a physical therapist for my leg. He taught me more about how to strengthen my leg and strengthen my leg and make it how it was before. I remember how nice the physical therapy was and how cool it seemed because he was just because he knew everything about the body and bones and just muscles, and just the fact that he was able to to make my leg better and get me to the point where I felt no more pain. Feeling no more pain really made me happy, and I just want the chance to do that for other people. So this year, when I was told I was going to do a project on the field of work that I wanted to pursue, I chose a physical therapy. I'm pursuing it because I love seeing improvement in health. I love helping people and seeing them become happy, and I just love muscles and lifting weights, which is a big part of this field of work. But most of all, I've learned that it's the work of restoring hope in people. It helps them go from a state of giving up and submitting to having desire again and wanting more for themselves, knowing that if they can overcome one obstacle in their life, then why not be able to overcome many more? Because we all know there's going to be plenty of upsets during this life. Physical therapy is a way of restoring hope and happiness. It can also just show the love of God and all His great work. When we get hurt, He heals us. When we get knocked down, He lifts us back up. Psalms 46 verse 1 says, "God is my refuge and my strength, an ever-present help in trouble." Meaning wherever we are, whatever we are going through, God is going to be that friend right next to us, just walking along, waiting for us to get knocked down so He could just help us right back up. And that's all I want, is for people to know that God's going to always be there with us, waiting for us to get knocked down so He can help us up. So as far as the process of the capstone, it didn't quite go how I would have liked it to. There came a point where I just wanted to give up, where I was just so stressed and so far behind that I just thought I didn't want to do anything. I procrastinated so long before doing any work because I just thought it was pointless and I didn't really see anything good that I could possibly gain from it. And if I'm being totally honest, I didn't really expect to be able to go into this field of work anyway. So I just thought, why even do it? I think the way that I thought this was because, the reason that I thought this was because I'm just scared of growing up. But then I realized, well, I'm the man of the house. I already do everything on my own. And I just know a lot about being an adult right now at this age. So I figured, well, it's because I have no hope. I'm dried up and don't really expect anything to come from this year or anything special to happen to me after high school. I'm basically just going to have to survive in this world, which sucks because I really want to live my life to the fullest. I want to have fun every day and stay out all night and meet new people and drive through the mountains and just see cool things and explore everything and experience everything that I possibly can. But I was in this state of mind where I just didn't really care anymore about anything. I didn't want anything. I didn't need anything. I stopped caring that all my friends didn't say hi to me anymore every time they saw me, and I stopped singing in the hallways or wherever I went. I just wasn't happy. I was at that point in life where I truly wasn't happy, or at least that's just what it felt like. I was at that rough patch where I was lost, and so was my hope. I gave up on school and ended up missing out on playing my favorite sport. I was lost. But like always, I had to somehow try to find myself and make a change. And so that's what I did. I tried for change. I started taking advantage of the capstone and focusing on it even more than anything. So I did my research component and I realized that this job actually does fit me and it actually is something that I really want to do. $83,000 a year sounded fine to me, plus the fact that I would never have to do homework again, and just and I would have good work hours. So after work, I would have time to go explore and play Fortnite or something, or just do whatever I wanted. But I also like the idea of meeting new people and just making all these great memories and all the experiences that can possibly come from it. So after my research part, I went on to my next component, which was my interview. I got the opportunity to interview Mike Sundin, the athletic trainer for the Denver Broncos. During this interview, he told me more about the process of how he got to where he was and more about what it takes to become an athletic trainer. He told me more about his faith and how that is pushing him to do what he does and how he does it. He also told me there was going to be times where people question his work and challenge his faith and his beliefs, but that's just what makes the job even more fun. Having those deep conversations about God and faith with your players while massaging their legs, or just coming across that opportunity to change somebody's life by telling them about God and showing them the love of God just through the way that I work, is what really made me want this even more. He informed me that this job can get pretty rough. You actually have to put in all your effort and know what you're doing and actually love what you are doing. We talked more about how not everyone is going to be suitable for a certain thing in life, whether they think it's their dream job or the girl of their dreams. But there will come that moment in time where you realize, well, this is actually what I want. This is actually my calling. The biggest thing is that you just have to be, or you're going to be unsure what's really right for you and what you really want. The biggest thing is that you just have to trust in God, that God has plans for you, and you have to trust yourself to do what you truly want and what you think is truly right for you. Sometimes you have to trust what you think God tells you and what your gut feeling is, because nobody but yourself can tell you what you truly want. Moving on from that, I did my next component, which was my service component. I did this service component with a lady named Kristen Matoba, who was a physical therapist at the Boulder Center for Orthopedics. Though I wasn't really serving anybody, I did get the opportunity to shadow her during a normal day of work just to see what it's like to actually be a physical therapist. During this shadow, I observed her interact with all of her patients. She told me the stories of each patient and what they are going through and why they are here. I noticed that each patient that she met with left with a smile, probably because of how bright and funny and loving she is. But she told me in the beginning of each patient's process, they were just all fed up and concerned with future and not looking forward to anything because they had no more hope based on what they were going through. They just didn't really seem happy. And I wouldn't blame them, because who would be happy with a torn rotator cuff or a frozen shoulder, or just all this pain that they were in? They rarely smiled and always nagged about their pain and discomfort. But as the process progressed, then so did their happiness. The less pain came the more smiles. Eventually, each patient would go through what's called graduation, in which they are literally graduating from physical therapy, meaning they are all healed up and ready to go to back to their daily routine and do anything without any limitations from pain. They were also excited about graduation because they felt like themselves again. For every patient, Kristen made a shirt with a funny saying or that she knew that her patients would for sure enjoy, because she made these sayings based on something awkward or funny that they had experienced during their little time together. They all looked forward to getting this shirt because it meant they were done and graduating from this rough time in life with all this pain they were going through. They had hope again, and they had plans for themselves and wanted more. The fact that I could have the chance to meet new people all the time, hang out with them, learn about them, and just help relieve their pain while making them stronger and just restoring their hope and happiness just makes me want this even more. Through the capstone, I've learned through this component, I learned patience. If you're, you need to have patience, because not everything is gonna happen right away. This applies to way more than just physical therapy. Pain doesn't go away. Pain doesn't disappear right away, but eventually it gets better. Just like God's plans don't appear just out of nowhere, but eventually they will start showing. You just have to be patient. Through Kristen herself and the way she worked, I just saw the love of God. Besides the fact that she was making a living off of helping others in pain, and she just gave everyone this same energy and love, and just so much love for everyone. She made everything so much brighter. With all the lessons and experiences that I've had through this capstone, I feel like I'm ready to go out and take on the next step in life, whether that is physical therapy or not. The capstone has gotten me ready to really grow up and do my own thing, and I think the capstone was difficult for me because I didn't want to step out of my comfort zone and do things like calling a stranger and asking them about their job and their faith and whether it makes them happy or not, or more things like scheduling a shadow appointment with a physical therapist and waking up at 7 in the morning just to drive to Boulder and attend it. But once I finally got through it, I realized I can do so much more, and I'm ready to do so much more. I'm ready to go out on this journey and become happy and seek God and help people and possibly help other people become happy and seek God along the way. The capstone has changed me and pushed me to grow. The capstone has challenged me and pushed me to grow up more and become more responsible. I am pursuing trying to show people the love of God through my action and my words and my work, whether it is physical therapy or not. My hope has been restored through this capstone, and I now at least have an idea of what I want. That's it. Thank you.